Salute, and welcome. Welcome back over here to the Black Ocean. And now swinging deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, many of you have asked me about the situation with the young brother Ja Morant. Okay. And, I told you I would be speaking on it. There were other pressing things, so I waited until now to make my statements and comments on it and analyze a couple of things. But I'll say this off the bat, of course, and many of you probably already knew this, but I'm not going to join the white media in piling on the brother. But what I am going to do is use his situation as a teaching tool and a teaching lesson for other young black men and black people in general, but specifically young black men, since that's what we're dealing with here. But the lesson can be applied to young black people in general. When you acquire wealth and you have youth without wisdom, that leads to chaos, okay? So we're going to analyze the young brother situation from a constructive standpoint. Not so much to tear the young brother down, but we're going to point out some mistakes. We're going to analyze some comments that was made about the brother by some buck dancing Sambos and a white supremacist. We'll get to that later in the broadcast here. But see, here's the thing, family. I'm going to tell you something. Okay. I don't like to brag about my situation because I'm a black man in America. But many of you know, especially those of you that know me offline, you know that my situation is not the common situation for a black person. I grew up, okay, with certain advantages. But one of the things that came along with that, my father, and my mother made sure that I understood to appreciate the things that I have, okay? I was not allowed to be a spoiled kid, and I was not allowed to not appreciate opportunities that came my way, okay? So you have to start very young and early with this, okay, with your children. Now, with the brother Ja Morant situation, I understand that he's got some difficulties, okay? He's had some challenges growing up. I'm not going to talk bad about his mother or his father. But what I will say is this. If you got children, you better understand that's the most important job you'll ever have. And you got no business trying to be your child's friend. You have to be your child's parent, a parent to your child first. And then friendship is optional when they get older, okay? If you love your children, you better, if you got black children. Because see, if you don't teach them the right way and they go out here into the world, especially dealing with the dominant society, the consequences are going to be disastrous. It's going to be disastrous if you don't teach them to have the proper thinking about how to conduct themselves in life. And also when it comes to if they reach a certain plateau of success, how to manage that with grace and wisdom. Okay. And how to make sure that you understand that when you grow to a certain point, you have to leave certain people behind if they don't grow with you. That doesn't mean that you have to treat anybody less than. It doesn't mean that you have to look down your nose on anybody, but you have to recognize that's a part of adulthood anyway. You have to recognize when your circumstances and situations have changed and it's time to progress forward. And hey, you be like, all right, hey, I still love y'all. I'm cool with you, but hey, I'm doing this right now. If you still on certain types of activities or things you got going on, hey, brother, I can't mess up my bag and my future for what you got going on, okay? So that's how we're going to kind of be approaching that here tonight. All right. So with that said, let me greet a couple of you that I see over here. Let me scroll on up. I see Two Stay Woke in the building. Salute the Project Leroy I see over here. Jason Ferreira, a little country lamb in here. King Chan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Only Pamela's Way, I see you. Salute to you, William Kent. Salute to the sister Nikki the God. I see you. Welcome. Lee Holmes, my good brother in the building. Forever Clear, welcome. Nightfall dropping here. What's going on, family? The good brother Jubel England, welcome as always. Salute to everybody that has joined us and that will be joining us in attendance here tonight, because as usual, I think everybody is going to be able to get something from this. Like I said, we're going to do it in a constructive manner with love, because see, the reason why I'm not going to join the white media, that should be self-explanatory. But I will give you this further breakdown. I want white supremacists listening to catch this, okay? Because, they having a field day with it, making like he's the worst thing in the world. When it's time for us to address our issues, brothers and sisters alike, we do that in-house, okay? Ja Morant is a part of our community. He's one of our children, okay? You know what I'm saying? Young man, he's grown, but he's one of our children. When it's issues to be addressed, we take care of that in house. Because see, one thing that those other communities, that's all of them. You see the different ones on criticizing and calling them everything but a child of God. They don't sit up with us and criticize their people, okay? See, that's something that most of us have to understand not to do. Now, those of us with sense, we know better, but we have to make sure the young people know that you don't sit up with other groups and chastise our people like that. If we got something to say or to address, we do it in house and we do it from a place of love. And we try to give the information and the correction out in good faith. And after that, if the individual chooses not to accept that, that is on them. Our conscience is clear. But we're going to get to that over here tonight because, see, this is a lesson that we're going to have to make sure that our young ones understand. And see, before we get started here tonight, let me tell you something. What I spoke on at the beginning of the broadcast, that's something right there that you don't wait until you become a multi-millionaire or wildly successful. You should have that mindset before you attain that, okay? See, I'm talking to each and everybody in the chat room, anybody that's listening to this recorded on the playback. How you manage your success starts when you have very little, okay? It starts with the number one thing that is the most important asset, in my opinion, that a lot of people tend to overlook today. See, when we get to talking about college degrees, we get to talking about this talent, that talent, who got this money, who got that money, you know, where they stay, all different types of accolades and things. You know what we leave out? You know what the common thread that will determine the course of your life that a lot of people don't talk much about because it's such a simple thing, yet so many of our people choose not to exercise it, and unfortunately, some people just don't have it. It's called common sense. Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. Common sense will get you a long way. I don't care what room you sitting in, how educated Ivy League somebody is. The person with the most common sense that chooses to exercise it often does a lot better than those types of people, okay? So that's the other thing I want to throw out here. So what we're going to do, we're going to analyze a couple of things, okay? And we're going to make sure that we point out some things that this young brother could have done differently. Because, see, take a good look at him, okay? NBA player, Memphis Grizzlies, all right? The brother has a very decent contract from what I understand, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a big sports guy like that. Look, I'm going to tell you, when the NBA transitioned out of the 90s, I kind of stopped watching. I'm used to a different style of basketball. It's too soft for me today, just is my opinion. But correct me if I'm wrong, the brother's money is guaranteed. I think he has guaranteed money. However, depending on what's in your contract with these different agencies and leagues, if you do certain things, they can, renege on giving you what they're supposed to give you, okay? So that's something you have to keep in mind when it comes to that. But see, when I look at this young black man, I see, okay, this could be my little cousin. Okay, could be, you know what I'm saying, somebody in my family, somebody I grew up with. I tend to see family when I look at him, first of all, okay? So, like, where I'm going to come at it from tonight is as if he was my family. Now, I'm not related to him, but I'm saying that's how I view our young people, black men and black women as well, when I see them making certain mistakes at a certain age, because he's 23 from what I understand. None of us in here can claim that we knew every damn thing at 23 years old. Now, does that absolve you of taking responsibility for your actions? No, it does not. It doesn't. I'm not saying that he's not responsible for his actions. What I am saying is, and I need to make this clear, you have to teach your black children before they get into their 20s that their social circle, they have to be very discerning about the people that they keep around them. Because, see, let's be clear, man. Even when you become a grown adult, I'm talking 30s, 40s, whatever the case may be, if the type of people that you're around, your social circle, doesn't pull you to the side and check you, pull your coattail when they see you doing something wrong, those are people that don't really care nothing about you. Because, see, one thing about me that everybody that knows me offline will tell you, and online some people will tell you, if I'm cool with you, salute the King Hayes in the building. Welcome over here, my brother. If I'm cool with you, I'm going to pull your coattail and I'm going to tell you right from wrong, whether you like it or not, okay? I'm willing to, like, the people I care about and respect and love the most, I'm willing to offend you if it means stopping you or getting you to think about something that could ruin your life. I'm willing to do that, okay? And see, not everybody has that type of integrity because, see, here's what I mean by that. You have some people that they will not do what I just said if you reach a certain level of success or notoriety because they're scared that, okay, if I'm the one to tell this person that they're messing up or try to put some food for thought in front of them that they could use, they'll look at that as if, okay, this person's going to cut me off. So that's a selfish individual. I'm like this, and I've had plenty of friends I've had to do it to, and they come back and thank me for it. I'll correct you and put it out there, like, all right, now you know this ain't right. If you do this, XYZ is going to happen. And I'd rather them be mad in the short term versus not saying nothing in the long term when I see something's going to be detrimental to them. So, see, you have to really be discerning about the type of people that you have around you because a lot of people will sit right there as long as they can benefit off being in your presence. Okay, they'll let you crash out. See, I guarantee you, a lot of little dudes that he kicking it with, he probably done paid for stuff for him. Probably done took him a couple places they ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? Because, he the dude that made it out the clique. Okay, they proud of him or whatever. But, once you start doing for him like that, see, this is what it goes back into a lesson I taught on previous broadcasts. So I'm going to bring it back up here tonight. One of the things that you have to avoid, like the plague, is having an ego. Because, see, when you have an ego and you think that you can do no wrong and then everybody else around you is a bunch of yes men and women, you in trouble. Because that way, you've lost sight of what the world really is because of your ego. Number two, the people around you don't care because they're just benefiting off of your success, like little parasites. Okay, so see, if you got a bunch of yes people around you, they don't never disagree with you. Okay, they don't never tell you, hey man, whoa, slow down, man. That's not a good idea. Let's rethink that. Those people don't care nothing about you. Okay, so we gonna look at a couple things with the young brother here. We gonna play the clip that everybody's talking about. From what I understand, this is the second time that the young brother has been caught with that. But I'm going to point something out about it, that a lot of people probably hadn't really spoke on. I don't know if they have. I hadn't really caught other people's take on this. I'm going to give you mine fresh off the top here. So we're going to play that clip, and then we're going to come back and analyze a couple of things. And before we do, you know what? Before we do, hold up. Wait. Yeah, before we play that, let me take this banner down because, first of all, salute to our good brother Black Alpha Network, because I saw him post this and this made a good point. Before we get into that clip, this is what we got to talk about. Black Alpha Network posted this up. Again, salute to that brother. You see Kyrie Irving here on the screen, okay? And you see the brother Ja Morant over here, okay? Then you look down below, you see Dana White, you see Chad Wheeler, okay? Him and Dana White got something in common. They like to beat up on women, okay? Then you see Mr. Welfare King Brett Favre down here. Okay, now, the three Alabastards, they broke the law. Kyrie Irving simply posted a link. Ja Morant got recorded, waving a firearm around. And as far as I know, he didn't break the law either time. It is not illegal for a black person to possess a firearm, okay? It's not, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay, he didn't threaten nobody with it from what I understand. Wasn't committing no crime. But see, these people right here, the mainstream media, they try to brush all this on the road. They don't even want to talk about these three people right here. So salute to that brother Black Alpha Network for pointing this out, man, because like I said, man, you cannot let them play that double standard thing. You have to put this back in their faces when they try that with our people, because see, we can just be accused of something and they'll run with that like you the worst thing on planet Earth. But see, their people can actually be caught red-handed, especially Chad Wheeler's situation. He almost killed that woman, man. He almost killed that woman. Stood over and said, you still alive? You know what I'm saying? And see, look, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I honestly believe had Chad Wheeler killed that sister, man, he probably would have got away with it. They probably would have covered it up. I mean, I honestly believe that because, like, from what I understand, I don't think that he received any real punishment from that, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, I just wanted to bring that back out to the forefront again. Shout out to Black Alpha Network for pointing this out. So now that we have brought that to y'all's attention, the contrast and the comparison right there, we're going to play that clip that's everybody talking about. And I'm going to point a couple things out about it. I hadn't heard nobody say this yet. If they have, like I said, I hadn't heard it. But after we analyze this clip, I'm going to make a couple statements to give you some different perspective on this.
Niggas come without no pill. I don't give no fuck about no sex, bitch. I just only want your nigga. I get shit smoked out the gate, tell that pussy nigga, yeah. I told that bitch I won't bang, I know that pussy nigga scared. I'm gonna know how I get down, bang with that thing, swipe off shit since I was small.
All right, so now I paused it right here for a reason. Now, this is what I noticed when I first saw this. I looked at it a couple times to make sure. Now, at least in this incident, this is the second time I understand. At least in this incident, it looked like his homeboy that had the camera over there on Instagram Live. Looked like when he saw the gun, he tried to turn away real quick. Like, oh, damn, I ain't know you finna pull that out. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. But see, let me point out another common mistake that a lot of the young people make today. And if you're a black father, you may want to listen up to what I'm about to say if you hadn't already had this conversation with your black children, especially your black sons, when it comes to things like this. Again, there's nothing wrong with being a legal firearm owner, especially if you know you've been trained how to use it and everything. We have the right to practice our Second Amendment rights. But you got to have that conversation with your young people about everything don't need to be online. Show off everything. See, I was fortunate to come up in an era before social media. And then when social media did hit, the way my parents raised me, we were always taught that, like, you keep certain things private. Everything ain't in for public consumption. So, we understand that today we're in the era of social media. These kids today, they don't know a time before social media, okay? So I do understand that. However, as a black parent, you have to sit them down and say, listen, you can't put everything online. Every time that y'all together, you don't have to go live. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. See, particularly when it comes to incidents that they are doing things they shouldn't be doing, they tell on themselves today. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of these kids really don't understand that there is a cyber crimes division with the FBI, the NSA, and certain other agencies. They have whole divisions where, I promise you, this is not me exaggerating or being hyperbolic. They have whole divisions where the only job they do is just sit up and monitor certain social media of certain notoriable black people, okay? That's all they do, and they be waiting on you to mess up, all right? So you have to have the conversation with your black children and make sure they understand that, so that they're not on the receiving end of that like a sitting duck. And see, like with this situation right here, again, it looked like his boy saw him. He was like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have, I ain't know you were finna do that, right? So now, the thing that I would have done, first of all, I wouldn't have just been like, hey, man, why we got to go live? We're going to do that. We need to make sure everybody's straight. But I would have immediately cut the Instagram live off and deleted the damn thing, the live. Because now, today, people are quick. They quick to record, but at least I would have tried to save him. I like, damn, my boy, he don't need to be in that kind of trouble again, because I already see what you went through last time. Okay, that's one thing. Now, let's deal with the other issue here. Deal with the other issue. Fact of business, I'm going to let this finish playing before I say that. Let's let it finish playing, because there's not much to it.
Ja Morant.
All right. So now you saw the whole clip. I wanted to go ahead and let the whole thing play because it wasn't very long, but it was long enough for people to see what the brother had, okay? Here's the thing that I would suggest to the brother Ja Morant. If he really likes firearms, because listen, I'm a Second Amendment practitioner myself. Oh, yes, I love my collection. In his position, though, in the NBA, being that they probably got all types of morality clauses and who knows what's in this contract, because I haven't seen it, okay? Here's what I would suggest him do. All right, brother, you like firearms, no problem. I believe in all of us being able to protect ourselves. What the brother Ja Morant should do is, if you want to be seen using your firearm or whatever, as long as it's not against his NBA contract or something, saying that he can't do it, why not go to a gun range? You see what I'm saying? Think about what I'm saying. Like, if he's really into firearms like that, and there's nothing wrong with black people being into them, go to a gun range and record yourself. So that way now, what they gonna say about that? You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, he at the gun range recording himself, practicing. Boom, you got him right there. What they gonna tell you? You see what I'm saying? See, that's what I would suggest to the young brother. If I was rolling with him, if I was his people or whatever, I would try to tell him, hey, man, if you just got to be seen with that, if you want to let people know, hey, look, I'm holding out, I'm proficient with this, let's go to a gun range, man, make it look official. I don't really see no issue with that now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all think about it, but that's what I would tell him. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, listen, man, it's a better way to do that, because if you just got it in your hand, then you know how the white supremacists, they call him all kinds of thugs and all that. Mind you, he hadn't committed no crimes that I know of with no firearm, okay, that I know of. They call him everything but a child of God, but is Chad Wheeler a thug? Is Dana White a thug? What about Brett Favre? He's a thug too, because if you stealing, that's what thugs do. Look, we need to get this thug thing correct. If we're going to be calling thugs now, we got to call out all the thugs now, because technically, I don't see what's so thuggish about that. He got a firearm in his hand, that make him a thug. He ain't done nothing with it. Nah, I'm not going for that. I ain't going. So, like I said, the way to get around that, go to a gun range, whatever you gonna be using, record that, and then and that's a good point to the brother ATL in 007. He said, notice the NRA is not backing him up. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, I am glad you brought that up, because see, if they was really about Second Amendment rights for everybody, they should come out and be like, hey, you know what? He didn't break no laws. He's got a right to practice his Second Amendment rights. There's nothing saying he can't own a firearm. Now, as far as his NBA contract, I don't know what's in there. Like I said, they have all types of morality clauses. And then I'm like, you can't tell me there's never been any other athlete, in the dominant society that hadn't showed themselves with a weapon. Now, I will give them credit. They probably do that, like I just said, at a gun range somewhere. Or if let's say you got some property, you own your land, target practicing. I mean, see, he's going to have to start doing it that way. And see, here's the other thing, too, while we're talking about his situation. And unfortunately, I tend to find some of our youth suffer from this. Unfortunately, and this is the sad part, a lot of the young black people that go get guns, if they hadn't been trained how to use them, they end up hurting themselves or somebody else with them. See, I had to teach one of my little cousins this lesson a long time ago. A firearm is not a toy, okay? Firearm ain't a toy. When you see how they be posing with them, when you just watch them, y'all know the videos I'm talking about where you see them doing that. They tend to think that weapon is a toy, especially if it's loaded. No, that is a weapon. And weapons are not toys, okay? So, like, when you notice, like, what I'm saying, sitting in the car, waving around, dancing, all that other stuff, my brother, if your finger is not, away from that trigger, if it doesn't have a safety, even if it does, you still practice that extra mile of caution of not putting your finger on the trigger of a loaded weapon. You got to be careful with these things, man. See, like today, let me tell y'all something that I've noticed, and some of the older brothers and sisters in here can let me know if you've experienced this or noticed this. Due to what's in a lot of the music, you hear them talking about Draco this, Chopper that, this, that, the third. Okay, nothing different from our music back in the day. Just maybe use a few different names for certain things. But they speak of these, what they hear their artists speak about, their popular artists today, speak about these things as if they're toys. And then when they go get their hands on them, they tend to treat them like that. Let me tell y'all something, man. Don't you ever have that mindset. Speaking to my young black people about firearms. The first thing you need to do before you put your hand on any weapon, and this is coming from a firearms owner, okay? Coming from somebody that's certified to teach. The first thing you need to do is learn about that weapon before you put your hands on it, okay? That's the first thing. You need to learn what a safety and condition check is with each type of weapon that you have. And then you need to be trained on how to use that if that's something that you've never used before. I don't care if you get somebody in your family to do it or go and get a certified firearms instructor to do it. Okay, we got plenty of black certified firearms instructors across the nation that can help you learn. My point is this. Those weapons are not toys. Being reckless, especially with a loaded weapon, can change your life or somebody else's for the rest of y'all lives. It can take your life away from you or someone else. The worst thing in the world you want to do is be responsible for playing with a firearm, and then you mess around and it accidentally goes off and it hits you or one of your friends, and now next thing you know, you're going to a funeral that could have been avoided. And I know a lot of people like, man, old head, you tripping. Now, old head want to see you get to where old head is at. So for any young person thinking that, I'm going to say it again. If old head is tripping, it's because old head, me, I want to see you get to my age and beyond my age. See, when we try to tell y'all a lot of things, a lot of y'all look at it as we talking at you. Anybody that knows my channel, my content, I talk to people, not at you. I like to talk to my people because I want you here, okay? Again, I am all for every black person. If I had my way, every black person would be familiar with how to use some type of firearm, okay? Because, I mean, look at the times we live in today. But responsibility and common sense and discernment must come with that, okay? See, here's the other thing I'm going to add to that before we hear Dr. Umar Johnson's take on it. The thing you got to add to it, and I mentioned this briefly in the beginning of the broadcast here tonight, the thing you got to add to it is this. And I feel that, you know, this is something that I think every black father should do. My father and my uncles and grandfathers did it with me. You got to make sure that your black sons, especially young black children in general, but we're talking about sons. You got to make sure that they understand that being infected with this thing where we always got to show off what we have, that's a detriment to us. Let me explain it to you. I'm going to use myself, for example. The only thing I will tell you is that I am a firearms owner, okay? All of them I have legally. But am I going to get on here and go down a roll call of what I have? Nope. Hell will freeze over first. Because, see, let me explain something to you. Not only when it comes to your Second Amendment rights, but also business. The element of surprise is an advantage to you as a black person. See, often, too many times in our community, there's too many people that feel like they need to prove something to somebody. You got to show off. If somebody say you don't have this, oh, you got to jump up and yes, I do. Look at this. No, the element of surprise. I'd rather you guess and you can say whatever you want to say. Now, if you really want to find out what I have, become a threat. That's when you'll find out. You'll be on the business end of whatever I do have. That's what you teach your children. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. See, that's something that's very important for young black men to master. You do not have shit to prove to nobody except for the person that you see when you look in a mirror. That's the only person that you have something to prove to. And see, let's deal with the business end of it. Oftentimes, I see a lot of our people, when they do get a little bit of success, they get a little bit of paper, which I want to see all black people get. I want all of y'all to know what it feels like to be financially stable. You know what I'm saying? And be able to do what you want to do with your life. That's a beautiful feeling. I know. Okay, I want that for all my people. That's why I want to see us all get these reparations, okay? The thing that you got to understand, though, is this. When it comes to the business aspect and what you have in your success, you don't get nothing out of advertising to other people because, see, Biggie said it best, more money, more problems. You get up here and get the flossing and you know, telling everybody what you got, showing off, posting your location, where you at. Hey, everybody ain't doing too good. You got some people out there that's hungry. And then on top of that, they don't, you know, they look at you like, hey, I should be where he is. So if I can get there by taking it from him, sadly, we seen it with Young Dolph, the young brother Estentacion. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. Look, PNB Rock. I mean, there's too many people we could name. We could be here all night naming stuff. So, like, you know, naming different ones of those deceased brothers and sisters, because what was the young rapper? A lot of cash, Desto. They ran up on her. See, if I could put this into the heads of every black person, whether I like you or don't like you, I would do this. I would put it into your head where it would be default, where you would live your life like, okay, listen, as long as I know I have it, I don't care who think I don't have something. That don't gain me nothing by trying to prove what I have to a lot of people. So you got a lot of people, grown folks in these spaces, be trying to get folks to show what they have and tell what you got. No, that don't work with me. Because, see, I understand the detriment that could pose to a person. And then here's the other thing. If you don't care nothing about yourself, sometimes that could put your loved ones in danger. You see what I'm saying? See, watch this. I'm going to give you a real-time scenario, kind of using what I just mentioned with some of those deceased brothers and sisters there that lost their lives because some dusty bastards ran up on them. Let's just say you get to flossing, and you're an NBA player, rapper, whatever the case may be, you flossing. Yeah, you should be able to enjoy your stuff like you want to, but use some discernment with it. You go somewhere nice and you balling out, post the footage a month later or 2 weeks later after you gone. Don't post your location right where you at. But see, let's just say you're doing all that floss and showing off, right? They can't get to you right away, but they run up on your family. Hey, look here. That chain and that watch you had in the little video, bro, you better drop this off, boy. I'm going to put one in your family head. You see what I'm saying? See, you got sick people out there like that. Sick, sorry, dusty individuals that think that way. So as a young black person, I would like to encourage you, young black man or black woman, understand that you are your own kingdom, okay? And when I say that, that means if everybody want to use the term king and queen, then operate like that. The king or queen does not move until they decide to move. They're not trying to prove nothing to nobody. You see what I'm saying? But see, I know why that mentality is like that, and I can't even just say for the young people. You got a lot of older black people that feel like they have to prove something to somebody because our collective self-esteem, and I'm talking about collective, not individuals, our collective self-esteem is very low as a people. And we understand why. When you're in a system of white supremacy that's always trying to make you feel less than, they keep telling the same lie, talking about we only 13% of the population, or we commit the most crime. Everything about black people is bad. When you constantly bombarded with that in the white media, okay, the white supremacist America in general is constantly downplaying black people. Just look at how much we're talked down to as a people. So I do understand why a lot of our people tend to have that low self-esteem to the point where they feel like, okay, the only way I'm worth something as a black person, I got to get this much money. I got to get these designer clothes and things, this type of car, I got to, we always keep thinking that in order for us to feel good about ourselves, we have to have things. Let me tell y'all something right now. If I lost everything that I had tomorrow, I wouldn't like it, but I would still love me. You understand? I want y'all to bear with me for a minute. We have to make sure people understand this, and I'm letting you know that I understand it. If I lost every material possession that I had, as long as I still have my life and my health, I would still love me. I can get that back. As long as I'm in my right frame of mind, the same thing I did to earn it, I'm going to get back on the grind and build it back up. So what I'm saying is, when you hear a lot of our people placing over importance on material things, it becomes something that is lost to the point where a lot of our people tend to think that your life has no value unless you have these types of particular material things, these name brand things. Because see, let me tell y'all something, man. The folks that really got bread like that, I'm talking about, man, your multimillionaire and billionaires, especially your billionaires. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, some of our people, man, could be in the same room with some of these people. You wouldn't know who the hell they are. Because look, y'all might not know this. The greater majority of the ultra wealthy people, they're not famous like that. They don't want to be known like that. You understand me? Listen, I'm gonna use an example in the black community. Let me tell you something. The brother Al Heyman, shit, he ain't flossing nowhere. And trust me, he got it. Oh, trust me when I tell you that brother got it right there, bro. If you've heard, if a lot of y'all probably wonder why we speak so highly of Al Heyman, let me tell you something, dog. That's the man right there, bro. A lot of us would pay to be in a room with that brother. You understand me? That's how you do it right there if you black. You handle your business. You be thorough about it. Get your money. Do what you do. Stay out the mix. You ain't running around trying to impress nobody, tell nobody what you do. You know what I'm saying? See, that's how you manage a successful empire, okay? And you pass that down in your family because, see, the best moves are made in silence. We've heard that a number of different ways from a number of different people. Trust me when I tell you, if you really want to get a lot done, without being hindered or sabotaged, learn to keep your mouth shut. Learn to keep your mouth shut sometime and watch how far you go. You understand? So see, those are some of the things that we have to try to instill in our young black people and show them that, hey, man, when you make your moves in silence, man, hey, that you're going to get a lot further than you ever thought you would. All you have to do is just compare the people that's always advertising about everything they doing all the time, okay? Especially in certain industries and arenas. It's different for certain careers, okay? So we're not, you know what I'm saying, speaking in absolutes. But what I'm saying is, in general, you look at the people that's always running their mouth about something. Look how much they get sabotaged. Sometimes you just keep your stuff close to the vest until after you solidify the things you're trying to do, right? So I just wanted to touch on that and get that out of the way. But I want y'all to hear Dr. Umar's comments on this. And we're going to let him speak, and then we're going to stop and break some things down briefly, because there's some things I agree with what he said. And then there's other things, I'll address them as the brother speaks. Let's let Dr. Umar talk.
Ja Morant. My dear brother, the money that you are scheduled to make through the NBA, you need it for your family future, and we need it for the black power structure. You cannot afford to act like an ignorant fool when you have that type of money that you can make at your age. Please grow up. Please get some maturity. And to Ja Morant's dad, Daddy Ja, you got to get on your son, King. Daddy Ja, you got to get on your son, King. If he got to move in with you because he's too immature to be on his own, make him move in with you. If he got to move in with mom, I don't know if you and mom together, make him move in with mom. But if Ja Morant is going to keep on exercising the discretion of a 13-year-old, if Ja Morant is going to keep on exercising the discretion of a 13-year-old, put his ass back in the house and treat him like a child if he wants to act like a child.
Now, in theory, what Dr. Umar is saying, it makes sense. The part where, okay, the brother needs to grow up and be more responsible. However, let's look at a couple of things. And I don't know this for certain because I have not researched all into the brother Ja Morant's upbringing and everything. But if you did not grow up in a household where your parents or the people around you that were raising you instilled this in you, and that's not what you saw in your everyday environment, then you don't know to do that. You have to be trained and taught how to behave that way. You got to get around solid people that know how to manage themselves in a manner that's not going to leave the dominant society open to come at you and take everything you have because, you chose to do certain things and then they want to label you a certain way. So now the other part of the statement that Umar's making, I understand why he said it, but good luck trying to tell a young black person what you gonna do or control their life, talking about making them move back in with you when they a multi-millionaire. Yeah, you give them a couple $100,000, man, Umar. I get why you said it, brother. Very intelligent brother Umar is, whether you agree or disagree with a lot of what he says or not, but that's not realistic. Because can you imagine them trying to get him to do that? You already know where that comes in. Man, I'm a millionaire. Who you think you're talking to? You already know. So that's why I'm reiterating the statement that you have to train them before they get into their 20s. See, to keep it a buck with you, let's be realistic. Let's think about when we were teenagers, okay? To be honest, by the time that you hit 15, definitely 16, you've already formed your viewpoint of the world and the type of person that you think you want to be. You see what I'm saying? So if you hadn't started that type of home training early on where it's instilled into your child and they've seen you do that by example, because you can't just say it. Your children have to see you living that type of life, right? What you got to practice what you preach. See, children, because we all know how we were when we were kids. A person could tell us one thing, but if we saw they said one thing and did another, we didn't really take them serious like that. That goes double for this generation today. So, I understand what Umar was saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he meant that in the literal sense. I hope he didn't, because good luck with that. That's not going to work. See, at this point, what it's going to take, and I'm hoping that this comes in the form of, because see, at this point, it's going to be hard for his daddy to tell him anything, because he's got more money than his daddy. His mama can't tell him nothing. He got more money than her. Ja Morant's best hope would be for a solid brother in the NBA. I'm just going to throw somebody out there. I don't agree with everything the brother say, but I'm just speaking on like tenure in the NBA, somebody that don't get in no trouble. Let's just say LeBron James, okay? Bear with me. I'm going to show you why I'm saying that. Somebody like LeBron need to catch him and say, hey, bro, come here, let me talk to you, man. Check this out. I see what you're going through. I see how the media trying to do you. Look at me, you know what I'm saying? They don't like me for certain things, but they can't catch me up in nothing off the court, because I know how they are. Let me school you to, everything that's going on, how you supposed to move in the NBA. See, it's going to take an older black person to try to pull him to the side and give him some game to keep him from following these pitfalls with reckless behavior, okay? And, I'm hoping that's already in the process, especially by now, because, see, I'm going to tell you what I worry about with the young brother Ja Morant. I worry that now that they've seen he has a penchant for reckless behavior, they're going to send the white women after him, okay? And then they're going to send knuckleheads around him to purposely fuck him up. I'm telling you, I see it coming. They're going to just try to pull a Jonathan Majors on him. It'll be something similar to that, and I don't want to see that. Don't get me wrong. I do not want to see that. But see, the one way that you insulate yourself from a measure of that, because if they coming at you, they're going to come. But you can insulate yourself from a measure of that by making sure you straight off the court. Or at least if you're going to do whatever, make sure you ain't got no knuckleheads around you with the damn phone out all the time, man. See, I'm going to say something, man, and I think a lot of older people here would agree with me on this. Today, man, these dudes, man, I'm just going to say it like it is. A lot of these dudes with social media, they use social media the way women do. See, I would expect that from women. I always got to go live. I'm going live. These dudes, they act just like the chicks. I'm like, hey, bro, everything don't need to be on camera, man. Turn that motherfucker off, bro. What is you doing? Like, no, turn that off, man. If you want to turn it on, keep it on you. Don't put it on me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying, man, a lot of them are operating like little females with this social media stuff, and nobody's telling them that, But like I said, that's my take on it. I'm going to get back to Dr. Umar here, because he's going to make some more statements that we need to analyze here. Let's let him continue.
Flashing guns when our brothers and sisters in Memphis, Tennessee are dying by the dozens due to gun violence. Young Dolph, rest in peace. Young Dolph, rest in peace. Young Dolph, rest in peace. And you up there flashing guns, my brother? All the black children who look up to you, and you're showing them guns on come on, Ja. Daddy Ja, come on, bro. Daddy Ja, if I need to have a private conversation with your son, nobody will know. I believe in protecting people's privacy, just like I need people to protect my privacy. That's why I'm not married now, because women don't know how to protect your privacy and you in a public spotlight. They got to run and tell everybody they know you. That's why I'm single now. If you can't protect my life's work, you can't walk with me. Nothing worse than a messy ass big mouth woman. Nothing's worse than that. But Daddy Ja,
Now, I got to pause it right here, because I know a lot of y'all like, boy, Umar on one, he tripping. But he actually just said something very important. And it kind of ties into what I said I hope don't happen with the brother Ja Morant. See, I know how these damn devils think. In every aspect of this society, I've seen how they move. And when you get to the age that I am now, those of us over here in New Black Media, we know them better than they know themselves. I can see them sending a reckless Becky over there towards the brother. And I don't know if he into the white women, but they're going to use that chess piece. Okay, they're going to use that chess piece. They'll send the white pawn over there. He get to talking this, that, start bringing around. Next thing you know, she putting all this business out, this, that, the third. I mean, I can just see it, man, because it's like And I hope to God that he don't, I haven't seen it, but I hope to God, bro, he ain't got nothing where he's involved in any type of extracurricular activities to get high. I'll say it that way. I hope he ain't got nothing like that going on, cause boy, see, let me tell you why I'm saying it like this. If he was my son, he wouldn't be in this situation because, see, I would sit him down before he got, when we find out we're finna go to the NBA, I would have sat him down and this is what I would have told him. I would have said, son, look back at this era right here. I would have showed him the Cadillac Records era. Y'all remember that? You know how they got a lot of black people back then? Hey, Cadillac, cocaine, white women. That was the three. That was the combo right there. Cadillac, cocaine, white women. I would use that model to say, hey, look, this is the modern day version of that, son. You successful as a young black man. Just because they let you in doesn't mean they want to give you this money. See, I think that too many of these are the parents of these young athletes. They don't have that conversation with them, let them know that, yeah, you in here, but do you really think they want to pay a nigga these many millions of dollars? They're going to try to take this from you every chance they can get. You see what I'm saying? See, I would put that into his head and teach my son and my daughter, if I had one, I would teach them that, listen, nobody's going to protect your assets and your future better than you. You have to always be thinking. So do not engage in activity or be around individuals where they're operating in a state where it's like their mind is shut off, okay? You got to be very careful of who you're around when they operate that way. Your mind should always be functioning, okay? The only way you really can just kind of let your hair down is if you're around your family or you by yourself in your crib and comfort of your own home. But for us out there handling business, oh no, you got to be thinking. You got to be sharp. You got to be wise, okay? And see, he's only 23 and like I said, I'm hoping that the conversation that I'm talking about here will come from one of his peers because he would be more inclined to listen to somebody that's earning the kind of money that he is, that's in the NBA, that's been in there longer. So I'm hoping that he has a good friendship with some of the older brothers in the NBA that can serve that role. Because, see, the way I would hope that professional sports and Hollywood and everything work, if we were on court like we were supposed to be as a collective, when we see our own coming into something, hey, young brother, young sister, come over here. Let me hip you to the game, man. Let me go ahead and tell you what these white folks finna try. Let me tell you what you need to look out for as far as like where your life is transitioning to now. And we need, show them out of love. We need to take them in and instruct them on things. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for like hip hop and everything. We shouldn't just have them out there like that and then be talking about them when they get in trouble, pointing a finger. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, they did that. They're grown. But did anybody try to pull them to the side and game them up? You see what I'm saying? Because see, what I'm saying, think about this. Every other community outside of ours, they do that with their young people. That's why you don't hardly ever hear about them getting caught up in these types of things. It's not that they don't do these same types of things. Let's be clear. Right now, the same thing that Ja Morant just got caught doing. It's a white kid in some major industry that got caught doing it. But you know what happens? Their people cover that up. They be like, hey, bring your dumb ass over here. Don't you ever do this again. They have an in-house conversation. They don't talk to them publicly, okay? And get on the news with other people and chastise them. They pull their people to the side and be like, listen, man, you done made it out of here. You messing up the bad, not just for yourself, but now that you've gotten to this position, you throwing away an opportunity to be a pillar in the community that can help us continue to build. You see what I'm saying? So there needs to be peers in these different industries that can instill that into these young people and be like, hey, man, it's bigger than you. You have an opportunity to be something much more important on a different level in the community, okay? You have a part to be a part. You have a chance to be a part of the brothers that are already up here moving and shaking different things. We need as many as we can get. See, that's the conversation that needs to be had towards them. But, like I'm saying, I'm hoping that happens before the next thing come up because I understand they suspended him for a couple of games for the start of the next season or whatever, but they're not going to stop there because, see, the way they do that, they're going to keep trying to get something on him. If he got any sense, he will sit down and chill out. Chill out. Let this blow over, okay? Let this be the last thing you get into like that. Stop hanging with them goofballs. It's always got to turn on Instagram. I mean, I'm like, man, it's going to have to be an assessment of some things made. And no matter who pulls him to the side, he going to have to realize some things. He going to have to, okay? Because it's going to start with him. A person can talk to you till they turn blue in the face all day long. But if you don't have a sense of note to recognize that you got to take your life in a different direction, ain't really nothing nobody can do for you. But let's let Umar continue here.
If you need me to talk to your son, Daddy Ja, if you need me to talk to your son, text me up. Let me have a personal conversation with the young king. Let me have a personal conversation with the young king because he is out of line and out of order. The NBA is a basketball slave plantation. The NBA is a basketball slave plantation. The NBA is a basketball slave plantation. And uncontrollable slaves will be removed from the plantation. Uncontrollable slaves will be removed from the plantation. And Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, I haven't mentioned you guys in a while, not since the Breakfast Club 6 months ago, but I gotta mention Stephen A. and Snow Bunny Shannon. I have to mention Stephen A. and Snow Bunny Shannon because I didn't appreciate all the suggestive punishments that y'all threw out there for the NBA to use in a lynching of Ja Morant.
I 100% agree with Umar on that. That's exactly what I was talking about. You got these overgrown buck dancing Sambozos jumping up here trying to help them people. Look, listen, I don't care what he got going on, especially he hadn't harmed nobody, hadn't broken no law. You don't help them punish our people like that because they don't. Look, name a time when somebody from the dominant society, a popular sports anchor, set up with black people anywhere and start, they ought to do this or that to them. Every time that you hear popular sports anchors or newscasters mention something about their people, what do they always do? Especially young white people or whatever. Hell, not even young. They can be 30, 32 years old. They call them a kid. Don't they? A grown-ass white person. No matter what they've done, how egregious it is, they start calling them a kid, covering up for them. They go to bat for them. They're like, they ain't going to go but so far with that, especially if it's a person of another race. See, a lot of our people don't really pay attention to that. So I agree with what Umar just said right there. Nah, man, they way off code for that. You suggesting punishments for the brother? Really? Really? Why you ain't suggesting punishment for Chad Wheeler, Brett Favre, Dana White, and the rest of them? Because especially Sambo A. Smith. Oh, Dana White is his good buddy. Oh, he ain't want to say nothing bad about him. See, yeah, I can't respect that, man. I can't respect it. So I agree with Umar on that. Let's let him continue.
Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp, you are going too far in your cooning efforts to curry favor with your handler, Skip Leprechaun Bayless. Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp, you are going too far in your Negropean efforts to curry favor with your handler, Leprechaun Skip Bayless. Stephen A. Smith, I know you getting a large contract. Stephen A. Smith, I know you're well paid, my brother. Congratulations to you. You're a well-spoken brother. I even enjoy watching you when you're not cooning. But stop throwing out punishments for the NBA. Let them come up with their own. I don't like when black men try to prep the white power structure to destroy other black men. Let me say this again. I do not like when black men try to prep the white power structure to destroy other black men. We already know they're going to come for Ja. But they don't need Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp. They don't need Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp cheering them on and edging them on in their destruction of Ja. They don't need Stephen A. Smith. Stephen the Agent Smith. They don't need him throwing out negative talking points on Ja Morant. Y'all did the same thing to Kyrie Irving a couple months ago. Y'all did the same thing to Kyrie Irving a couple of months ago.
And Umar is absolutely right. And that's a good point you just made. My brother Project Leroy Shannon did all of that to clear his name with that altercation that he had with the Grizzlies. And see, when it comes to staying on code, I'm going to say something that y'all might not believe, man. Y'all probably like, I can't believe that GBS just said this, man. When it comes to staying on code, let me tell you how serious I am about that. If I was on a mainstream media platform and a white host or whatever start asking me different questions about different issues in our community, even if they tried to get me to talk about in a negative way somebody, y'all ain't gonna believe this, somebody like Candace Owens, I would tell them this. I'd be like, hey, listen, that's an in-house community issue. I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to you about that. That's for black people to discuss, because I'm not gonna sit up here and do what you all don't do with our community. You don't sit up there and talk about other white people, no matter what they've done with us. I'm not going to even throw Candace Owens on the bus like that. I'll be like, we'll deal with her. We got to know people in our community with no platforms and voices. We'll take care of that. This ain't a conversation I'm going to have with you. I know y'all shocked. I wouldn't even do it then. Those would be my exact words, I promise you. If your brother's ever on any one of these platforms and they ask me something like that's my answer all day right there. I'm like, nope. Even the ones I can't stand, I'm not finna sit up here with you and talk about them, because I know you don't care nothing about our people and you don't do it with us. That's the type of code we need to be on with each other. We deal with our own issues in-house. That's something we got to get back to. And see, too many of these people like Shannon Sharp and Sambo A. Smith, they love to get up there, boy, in front of white folks and just talk about all our issues. I'm like, no, man. How about you flip it and try to do that with their people? They'll shut that down so quick. You ever notice that? Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and whoever else you want to name, they do not get up there and just specifically run white people down like that without their hosts intervening. They won't let them do it. They'll be out of job. They know better than to try that. So at least have the integrity to cover for your own people that way. Now, if you have certain opinions and thoughts about the Ja Morant situation, okay, deal with that with our folks, not up there with them. Let's let them continue.
Y'all did the same thing to Kyrie Irving, and now y'all turn around and y'all doing it to Ja Morant. Stop being a cheerleader, Snow Bunny, Shannon Sharp, and Stephen A. Stop being a cheerleader for the destruction of black males. Stop being a cheerleader for the destruction of black male athletes. Cut it out. Stop.
Shannon, what's your reaction to these latest
Now, speaking of Sam Bozo Sharp here, with his big overgrown butt broken behind, y'all already know how I feel about a lot of stuff he be saying. We gonna review these comments that him and Skip, like Shannon say, Skip. We gonna review the comments that he and Skip made over here, and we gonna point some things out, because see, man, for all the things that Shannon Sharp does say where he has a point, he'll have moments like this where he come back and show us that, okay, nigga, when we want to support you, you shoot yourself in the foot and start your buck dancing and your soundboarding. See, for me, and I want people to hear me on this, because yes, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Nobody's going to see things 100% the same. But the issue that I have is when it comes to particularly over and over and over, you see black people that can't wait to chastise us in front of them folks. That signals to me that I can't trust you. That means that you value white validation and being looked as one of the good little Negroes in front of the white folks. So when it comes time to like cast judgment or produce justice on certain issues in our community, you can't be trusted. That's just my particular stance. Now, everybody else can feel how they want to feel, but I want y'all to listen to this discussion they had here about the Ja Morant situation. Let's let it play.
developments?
Skip, I think a lot of people say I want
And before they even try, fair use, damn it.
me to come out here today and say I'm surprised, I'm shocked, I'm disappointed in Ja's behavior. And I'm not. I said before, the best apology is change behavior. And when he was going through all this diatribe about what he learned about being away from the game, Skip, and how important it was to him, I say, I see better than I hear. I heard everything Ja said. Now, moving forward, I'm going to see if the behavior meets what he said. And clear, right on. And so at this point in time, Skip, where I am, I'm not even upset at Ja.
Okay, now let me go ahead and get on him right here. Because, see, I got to bring up something that I just mentioned earlier. He's right. The best example to show people that you have learned from a mistake is change behavior. That part is right. Give you credit for that. This is what I have an issue with Shannon Sharpe and all the Negroes criticizing the boy. Like I said earlier, I would love to ask Shannon Sharpe. See, it wouldn't have did for me to be in the room because I would have asked him to his face. I'd be like, Shannon, I hear what you're saying, but did you make an effort after the first incident to reach out to the young man and have a conversation with him? Because, see, when it's time for him to be rubbing elbows with white folks, we see that all the time, don't we? Oh, yeah, I'm going here with it. How many of these Negroes that got so much to say about dude, you talking about him, you in the presence of him, you can get in touch with him easy. Did you reach out to the young brother and try to talk to him? As an elder, okay? An elder professional athlete, even though it's a different sport, you know the game, okay? You see how these people work. See, look, let me tell you something. If I was Shannon Sharpe and I was in that position, I would feel like it's my responsibility to make the attempt to reach out to him. Now, if he turned me down, they want to hear nothing, I'd say, okay, fine. But at least I made the attempt because I would look at it like, hey, man, that's one of us. That's a little brother in here. I want to see him get as much paper as he can get before these people be finished with him. Let me try to make sure he stay on track. You know what I'm saying? See, I would have tried, man, but I bet you this big old Sambo didn't do that. So, yeah, that's one thing I want to point out about it, but I ain't done with him yet. Let me let him continue.
I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted by the people that defended him. Because that's what got us here. That's what got us here, Skip. Oh, man, Shannon, you hating on Ja. You were Uncle Tom, you rucker, you fuck that.
I don't know who this is.
The same people that Ja in the comments, that Ja be liking.
Oh, these are Twitter people.
Yeah, Skip.
Not Grizzlies.
No.
Okay.
The clicks and the mentions and the likes, why he does everything that he does. Skip, I need somebody to tell me the fascination he has with guns and feel that he needs to be on IG Live, that he needs to see people see him with that tool on him. What is that? Is that the only way you could listen to young boy, NBA young boy, Skip? Is that you got to have that stick and bobbing, weaving and bouncing and your homeboys?
That iron.
Yeah, Skip, he want that. Hey, you know I told that fire with me now.
Yeah.
Skip,
This Negro embarrasses our people so much when he go into this overperformative crap in front of you white folks. And you heard little old condescending, passive-aggressive Skip, man, you got to have that iron on him. First and foremost, the only issue with it was the IG Live thing. Just having it on him, no. As long as he's legally able to carry one. See, you sitting up here. Basically, let me tell you what I see with this clip. And when I put this in your mind and we play the rest of this, you'll probably agree with me. When I saw this, you would think that Shannon is a slave on a plantation telling other slaves, all right, now, you know, master don't like us knowing how to read. You can't let master see you with that. Big old overgrown buck dancing Negro. See, this is what they like to put on TV too. These types of individuals. Because like I said, the stuff that he's right on, I give him credit for that. But all this overperforming stuff and you acting like it's wrong for him to have a firearm, I get the point about the IG Live and all of that. But you got so many niggas, why he got to have a gun? What's his fascination with guns? Negro, I got a better question for you. Why you not fascinated with them in a time period where we got whole white supremacists sneaking up on homeless black people, putting them in chokeholds? Why you not? That would be my question for you, but I would love to ask him that. Oh, what you talking about? I ain't never had no gun. Can you imagine him? Big old overgrown Sambo, man. But look, that's how he sounded to me, though. But hey, y'all make up your own minds. Let him continue.
Get it. Because I've had homeboys, and my homeboys look at me. They don't look at me as Shannon Sharpe, the guy you see on TV, the guy in the NFL. So when they would ask, man, I went to Savannah State. You know Shannon Sharpe? That's my best friend. Call him. No. I don't need to impress you by picking up the phone and calling him. I don't know why Ja homeboys need to put, every time Ja get around, they need to be on IG Live. Ja roll with you. That should be good enough. That should be all the validation you need. But they need further validation. That's why they pick up IG Live. Look who you're in the car with your boy. I got Ja.
You're on Devontae Pack's IG Live, not on Ja's.
But I'm saying
this time.
He has to pick up his IG Live to get validation to say, I know Ja. Ja, my boy. He roll with me. Skip, it's one thing to say, oh, yeah, I know Ja Morant. But to have Ja Morant.
Look, he's sitting beside me.
So now let me deal with what he just said there, because even though he's a buck dancer Sambo, I'm going to deal with the things he said that make sense. What y'all need to understand is, and I've said this before, his homeboys, he's right about that. They going on live on IG so that, let me tell you the main reason why they doing it. They're going on there so they can impress women. See, look, I know Ja Morant. And see, let me say something to the dudes that do that. Let me tell you something, man. Let me be clear on this, because see, boy, if the only way that you can impress women is by trying to show them that you know somebody famous, you a pathetic excuse of a man. First of all, that's really not going to help you, because the way these chicks move today, the only thing they're going to do is try to use you to get to him. That's not really a plus for you, my dude. See, let me go ahead and make it real clear for you. Oh, we got to make this stick for the young people that don't get why I'm saying it this way. Remember the little dude who, and I hate to laugh, but cause look, I know how Drake get down. I know how Aubrey move for real. I know how he get down. Drake, the rapper, Aubrey Graham, yeah, I know how he get down. Remember the little dude who had that chick, man, that was talking about Drake was finna sign her or whatever, and you know, they went out there together. He flew both of them out, the little dum-dum sitting up there flossing. Man, I'm on Drake private jet. He taking pictures like a little chick. Oh, he was just tickle pink. Flew him out there. From what I understand, if I remember correctly, they sent him on a couple of errands. Drake brought his girl to the studio, all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, man. Drake was being Drake. And after it was over, the beans was spilled, and then, you know, they flew dude back and everything, and then he had his feelings hurt. I'm like, okay, brother, did you not understand that the minute that your woman saw you impressed by what another man is able to do for her that you can't, then you know you fucked up right there? Did you not know that? See, you got too many of these little dudes out here. They don't have nobody to game them up like that. Can you imagine that, man? Look, man. No, bro. Ain't no way, man. And then on top of that, this is the part that really shocked me about why he was surprised. If the story is accurate, they said that he was with the little chick for like 8 years and hadn't tried to wife up. I'm like, okay, now you done been with her for 8 years. You can't even blame her at that point. I'm just saying you were wasting her time. She's like, okay, look, this is my opportunity. Now, you will not hear no album from her coming out because I already know how Drake get down. I ain't hating. I'm just going to tell you right now, that little high yellow Negro boy, he cold-blooded, boy. I'm going to tell you right, look, it's a couple of dudes that if your girl go backstage, boy, it's over with. Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Drake, yeah, you done, player. You might have a chance with other folk, but if them three, if she make it to they tour bus or backstage, you done, playboy. Let alone you acting like you impressed by it. Yeah, look, you ain't gotta believe me. Go ahead and find out the hard way. Do that. But see, I'm making that point to say that, okay, if you got to impress women by showing who you with, in this case, Ja Morant, what do you think that do for you? You riding off your homeboy success. That ain't nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know the dude, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, if anything, your time spent around Ja Morant should be, hey, bro, check this out. I know you in the NBA. I ain't got no ball skills like that. Are they hiring for any type of jobs, man? Can you put me on? Hey, who you know with this or that business idea that I got? See, you should be trying to, if you're going to do anything, see if you can network with the young brother and see if you can put you on so you can get your paper. You might not be an athlete, but hell, he might be connected to people with whatever your particular skill set is, if you got one, that can help you get somewhere. You see, that's how you're supposed to think when you're in the presence of an accomplished person. Think in terms of business and networking, and make sure that if you're going to be cool with them, make sure you're watching their back. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you the person that, hey, man, I ain't finna let him get on Instagram Live. Like, hey, man, y'all put that bullshit down. Y'all see Playboy holding over here. You see what he just went through. You should be that friend. You see what I'm saying? But just to be a little old male groupie, look at me, I'm with Ja Morant. Uh-huh. Yeah, only thing you doing, you see, look, the dudes that do that, they don't understand that whatever chick they trying to impress, because let's just be clear, that's what they're trying to do. Bro, the next time he come to town, bro, you feeding her to him. That's what you doing. That's not helping you, bro. So man, somebody got to pull these kinds of young men to the side and let them know what not to do. Stop using social media like a chick, man. That's not good for men, man. Cut that out. We ain't got no business trying to do what women do in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Let the women be the groupies. The men need to be on getting their weight up so you can be your own leader and do your own thing, man. You cannot live vicariously in the shadow of no other man, okay? Stop that. That's crazy, man. But hey, I digress. Let's get back to this conversation here because there's a lot more to analyze.
In the car.
We on this. Mm-hmm. Skip by. So now, see, here's the problem. See, Ja can't do any further embarrassment to himself.
Yeah.
What about to the Memphis Grizzlies? What about to the NBA? What about the Nike? What about the Powerade? Now, I want to know who's going to be the treasurer of that GoFundMe because he's about to lose that NBA contract. He's about to lose that Powerade endorsement. Now, I want to know, they said, I want all the people that said, let Ja be Ja. Are y'all going to be the treasurer of that GoFundMe account? Yeah. Because he just lost $39 million because he wasn't on one of the 3 all-NBA teams. He's about to lose another $20, $30 million of these endorsement deals. So I want to know, in the process of Ja being Ja, do your thing. What y'all gonna do now? Who's gonna run the Ja's defense, Skip? All them people that say, oh, Shannon. See, here it is. Guess what, Skip? I read the Skip. See, you don't read the comments, Skip, because I want to get a vibe. I want to get a sense of what the temperature is of what they're saying. What about the Second Amendment, Shannon? He ain't here. He a law-abiding citizen. There's a lot of things you can do. But if I were to post it, Fox is going to have a problem with what I'm posting. Yeah. I understand that. I'm smart enough to understand some things aren't meant to be posted. It's meant to be confined in your own home.
Yeah.
Do you say that to the white athletes, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless? I already told you the way for him to do that, hey, go to a gun range. Go to a gun range. If you love firearms like that much, go to a gun range. Now, let's deal with the things that Shannon said that did make sense. Because as a businessman, I understand that. You got your endorsement deals. Certain things look a certain type of way. But I'll tell you one thing, what we should be able to do, those of us that are on code in Black society, I'm going to say it again. Yes, it was not a wise thing for the young brother to be on Instagram Live with a gun in either situation. I get that. But I would tell you what I wouldn't stand for. And see, this is the type of power I want to see our people exercise. Just like when they came at Kyrie Irving for simply posting a link. If any of his companies that he has endorsement deals with, that Ja Morant has endorsement deals with, drop him for that, we should never fuck with them companies again because he didn't break no law. It'd have been another thing if he pointed a gun and put it to somebody's head on Instagram Live. They finna get off our people like this, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I hope they do. Look, let me find out some of his endorsement deals drop him. I ain't fucking with now one of them brands again. I promise you that. I don't need the shit like that. I don't. Because, see, you're not finna sit up here and demonize that young brother like he committed a damn robbery or some shit on camera. Okay, he made a mistake. Damn, I just showed you earlier. Why you ain't talking about welfare king Brett Favre, Chad Wheeler, Dana White? There's plenty more I could name, too. Why you ain't talking about them? Like this. Have y'all ever seen Shannon Sharp get up here and talk about any of them 3 white men that I just named? Have you? Where that energy at? See, I would almost give this big overgrown chump a pass if he talked about them white men like that. I expect Skip Bayless to do it. He one of them folks. I expect that. But have he ever got up there and ran down a white man and just, look at him, he finna ruin his life. They're like, okay. Well, if you start doing that, I'll be like, hey, man, that's what Shannon do. He give it to both sides. Nah, him and Stephen A., boy, they ride down hard on our people, but they know the mayonnaise men, though. Yeah, boy, I tell you, man. It's hard to watch, but we got to get through it, family, because I got to point a couple more things out.
Why can't y'all understand that? Why, Ja, bro, take anybody from the street, Skip, and they do what Ja pretends he wants to do, bang, for Leah. Say, you know what? I'm going to give you an opportunity to get up off these streets.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a contract for about $200 million over the next 5 years, but you got to give up banging. What you think they're going to do, Skip? All of us, you for real? Oh, all I got to do is put down this iron, and you're going to give me $200 million.
Yeah.
Prime example, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was in them streets. He said, I'm leaving that behind.
Yeah.
50 Cent was in them streets.
Snoop.
I'm going to leave that behind.
Yeah.
This man is a CEO of Ja Inc. What CEO you know carrying a tool? What CEO you know on IG Live? I don't see Tim Cook. I don't see the Murdochs. I don't see anybody in these big corporation CEO carrying a stick around.
No.
If you feel that unsafe, hire security. All you gotta do it. That's what most of them do. You don't see LeBron without his team. You don't see most of these guys, high prominent profile people that feel that their life might be in jeopardy. Hire security roll around with you. But nah, I don't need no security. I got that fire with me. Let y'all know I'm about this life.
See, he doing all this over performing because, again, what he's saying makes sense. My question would be, Motormouth Shannon, did you reach out to the young brother and suggest that? Because I agree. Listen, let me tell you something, man. It's certain places I go, I have executive security with me. Oh, yeah, I said it. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to tell you now. Now, if you make yourself a threat, I'm going to deal with you personally along with the security because, I mean, hey, the best person to secure you is you. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I agree with that. He should say, did you suggest to him, Shannon Shaw, hey, brother, get you some executive security if you feel like you need this, that, or third. You know what I'm saying? Let them be certified to carry this, that. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee he ain't try to have that kind of conversation with him. So, again, this is why I'm turned up about Shannon Sharp because he doing this in front of Skip Bayless and them white folks. Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. Each and every Negro that try to do this with our people, man, when they time come and them folks turn on and they start looking back at the community, who they threw under the bus. I'm like, hey, man, no, you did a little too much tap dance for me. That's where I stand with it. Everybody got to make their own mind when it comes to that. But, hey, let's let them continue.
Ja, your mom and dad did everything they could to protect you when you were growing up. So give you the best chance to be successful, to get out of the environment. Now, it looks like Ja came from a middle class, but whatever it is, Skip, he wanted to ascend to a high level, have better than what he had growing up. He gets to that point, and not only does he not want to go back to the middle class in which he came from, he want to go back to the trenches. He want to go back to the mud. Huh? After you make 40 mil, you making 40, 50 mil a year, and you want to live that lifestyle? For what? It's all about pressing clicks and likes, Skip. Because see, Skip, sometimes when you can put something up, Skip, and you get 25,000 positive, good, Shannon, that was great, that was good. But it's that one negative, and you start to think like, well, damn, why didn't they like it? See, Ja get that one thing. When he did that, Shannon, that man just having a good time. Ain't nobody get hurt. The gun didn't let off. Ain't nobody doing that. Man just having a good time. He just vibing. But the NBA says in the bylaws, on premises, on an NBA business, you can't have a firearm. So all that, what you're talking about, the Constitution, is out the window because the NBA is a private entity.
Yeah.
They get to set the guidelines in which you must abide by. So, Skip, I'm not even surprised. I'm not even disappointed. I'm not upset at Ja because I see Ja for who he is and what he is. I hope all of those that support him. Skip, I ain't throwing him away now. I'm not throwing him away. I'm not.
Oh, we know you running him down on TV, but you're doing that, you big buck dancing Sambo. So now, did y'all hear that? Because see, now that's something I got to do some research in. Sounds like to me he's saying in the NBA bylaws to hear this Sambo tell it. Because I got to look it up to verify. Maybe y'all can let me know if y'all know. Sounds like he's saying that, okay, even in your off time, you can't have a firearm. Nah, I don't think that's right. No. I got to look and see. I'm going to do some research into that myself, but that sounds like what he said to me. Now, it's one thing if you in an arena, okay, or you at a camp or something, I can understand they have them rules there, okay? But if you telling me that in my personal life, away from the arena and the training camps and any type of NBA function, I can't have a firearm on me? Oh, no. Oh, no, that is not going to work. That is not going to work. Apologies, family. Look like they playing with the stream again. Hold tight.